Hi, I'm Erica, the author of the blog theSimpleHomeplace.com, where I like to share about simplified homemaking, and that includes easy recipes, DIY projects, and natural living. Today I want to share with you how you can make your very own crocheted oven mitts. Before we get into the tutorial, I just wanted to show you what the final product will look like. As you can see, it's a nice and thick pot holder. That's what I'm going to call it, not an oven mitt, but either way is fine. But it's really nice and thick. It'll protect your hands when you're cooking, pulling things out of the oven. And we're going to be using 2 strands of cotton, which I'll talk about in a second. But first, the tools you'll need is a 6mm crochet hook. You'll need a large yarn needle, and then a good pair of scissors. Now I want to talk about the yarn that we're using. I'm using 100% cotton yarn. It's the Lily's Sugar and Cream. I'll leave links to everything down below, but it's really important you use 100% cotton. If you use something that has acrylic, it could melt when you're touching hot surfaces, which you really don't want. So 100% cotton, or you could use wool yarn. The importance there is that percentage-wise, it needs to be mostly wool to work for this. So I like to stick to the cotton yarn because it's more affordable. But now let's get into the tutorial. So first, you're just going to start with creating a slip knot. Now this tutorial is for someone who is a beginner, but has kind of mastered some of the basic crochet stitches. So this pot holder is made out of the Sedge stitch. And for the Sedge stitch, you need to start with a chain, basically multiples of 3, but I'm going to be starting with a chain of 21. Now you can play around with it. If you want to make this a little bit smaller, you can do that, or if you want to make it a little bigger, it just needs to be a foundation chain in multiples of 3. For row 1, we are going to count to the second chain from the hook, and we are going to work a half double crochet, and then in that same chain, work a double crochet. Then we will skip 2 chains, and then in that next chain, so the third chain, you are going to work a single crochet. Then in that same stitch, you'll work a half double crochet, and then a double crochet. I'll zoom in a little bit closer so you can see. So we skip 2 chains, and then in that third chain, work a single crochet, half double crochet, and then a double crochet. And you're going to do this until you reach the very last chain stitch at the end of the row, and we are going to work a single crochet into that, and I'll show you that in just a second. So we've reached the last chain of the row. We're going to work a single crochet, then chain 1, and turn our work. We are just going to repeat this pattern for 13 rows, including this last one. So you start off with a half double crochet, then a double crochet, then you skip 2, and you continue the pattern on just like we did with that first row. So now I've completed 13 total rows, and I'm just working in that last sedge stitch. So a single crochet, half double crochet, and a double crochet. And then in the very last stitch, I will work a single crochet, and that will complete our pot holder. Now you could end it here. You could add a border around if you wanted to, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a loop so I can hang it. And to make a loop, it's super easy. After we've completed, we're just going to chain 10 chains, and I'll do that really quick, and then I'll show you how to loop it around. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's all nice and straight and even, and I'm going to slip stitch into that very last single crochet. And hopefully you can see it well, but this is what slip stitching is. We're not adding anything to it, but we're just securing that loop. And then I'm gonna pull on that yarn just a little bit and then cut off the excess. Then I'm just going to pull that yarn through and finish securing off that loop. And then the last thing is to just weave in the ends. So I'm going to thread that yarn through my yarn needle and really make sure that I secure it. So you'll see me, I'm gonna just go underneath a lot of those stitches and really make sure that it is secure so that if I need to wash it or whatever, it's not going to come apart and fray and ruin the pot holder. So I do that there to secure that loop. And then at the very beginning, we had some excess, so I'm just gonna do it there as well. These are really great. You can throw them in the wash. They're super versatile in the kitchen. I'll leave a link down in the description box below with the blog post that has the entire pattern and a little bit more information so you can check that out. Okay, that is how simple it is to make your very own crocheted oven mitts. Now this is a great tutorial, a great project for those of you that have kind of mastered the basic crochet stitches. So in this project we use the chain stitch, the single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. So really it's a really simple repeating pattern and it works up fairly quickly. It's nice and thick so you won't burn your hands when you're using it in the oven and or cast iron and hot things like that in the kitchen. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you want to see more videos like this, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, maybe give this video a like. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.